Congo, with its natural minerals, is one of the richest countries in the world. Their invaluable resources include gold, coltan, tin, tungsten. Tragically, the people living on these mineral-rich lands are experiencing incalculable levels of atrocities, whilst the world media turns a blind eye. Children as young as 6 years old, who should be in primary school learning and playing, are instead forced down into mines to hammer with their bare hands into solid rock to extract these minerals. Gold. The people are literally living on top of gold mines worth billions of dollars. Coltan. It's the mineral used in almost all of our Western technologies, mobile phones, PlayStations, iPads and laptops, to ships, jets, missiles and bullets. Tin, used in most of our household appliances such as fridges, washing machines, microwaves, stereos. Tungsten, a metal with rare properties that enables it to withstand high levels of heat and is used in everyday products such as light bulbs to TV to military weapons. Due to the invaluable riches and resources, every day people are being killed, their villages devastated and lives shattered as they are evicted from their land for the natural resources that lay underneath. The scale of the devastation is such that between 1998 to 2008, it has been calculated that over 5.4 million Congolese have been killed and over 2 million displaced, ending up in ill-resourced camps and neighbouring countries. Between 2003 to 2004, it is reported that up to 1,000 people died daily from starvation and preventable diseases. An event was organised in Brixton, London by Friends of the Congo in partnership with Adirinka Arts Collective in commemoration of the 56th anniversary of the independence of the Democratic Republic of Congo, to provide an opportunity to raise awareness of what was happening in the Congo, in the hope that someone somewhere will help to bring about lasting peace, a change for the better and lasting improvements to their daily life. One of the presenters at the event was Emma Ako, who delivered an insightful presentation about some of the blood minerals that can be found in the Congo and its daily uses. We introduce Emma Ako.
So thank you very much for inviting me to be here, and another special thanks especially to JJ Bola, to Vava Tampa, to Stella Belgam, to Nat Nai, and to Golden Blue, who have really helped me, inspired me and supported me since the very start of beginning Carpe Diem events. So before I even go into what I do, I'd just like to share one of my favourite ever proverbs, which just so happens to be a Congolese proverb, and one that fills me with hope every single day. No matter how long or dark the night is, day is always sure to come. That just fills me with hope each and every single day, no matter what. So I first heard about blood minerals, conflict minerals, and the crisis in Congo maybe about 4.5 years ago now, when I watched a documentary on BBC Three called The World's Most Dangerous Place to Be a Woman. I don't know if any of you have seen it. If you haven't, please do look it up. It will still be online. You can find it on YouTube, maybe 4OD or BBC iFree Player. However, that documentary for me just absolutely changed my life, and it changed the way I look at politics. It changed the way I look at policies regarding minerals and how they leave Africa and enter other parts of the world. It changed my the way I view law and what really is right and wrong and who controls and who makes up laws. It changed the way I think about society and who we give our power to, and how we also become powered ourselves. So after watching the documentary, The World's Most Dangerous Place to Be a Woman, I found out then and there that 4 to 8 women are raped each and every single hour for our technology, and it just made me so mad. And it's this anger that I actually give thanks to, because it's the anger that sparked me to actually get up and actually do something. I was angry for about a whole year, just so vexed, and just wanted to go to Houses of Parliament, set it on fire. I wanted to kill each and every single policeman. I was honestly just like a rebel, but I actually had a cause, and that was to break the silence on Congo. I was doing so much research. I was just like, why is nothing in The Guardian? Why is nothing in The Times? Daily Mail? But I was just like, why is no one saying absolutely nothing? There was just a whole silence about it, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do whatever I can, the best way that I can to break the silence. And I was thinking, okay, well, how do I do that? How do I actually connect to people? And then that got me thinking, how do I connect to people on all different types of levels? After I watched the documentary, I was sparked in so many ways and on so many levels. So, one, as a human being, I thought there's no way on earth I can sit back and know that this is happening in Congo. As a woman, as an African woman, I definitely could not sit back knowing that 48 women who are my mothers, my sisters, my nieces, my aunties, my cousins have been raped every single hour, that my fathers, my uncles, my brothers, my nephews and my granddads are being maimed every single hour, and that my children are being forced into enslaved labour. Everyone learns in so many different ways. So we have people who will learn from reading, and whether that's reading a novel, or whether that's reading a comic, or whether that's reading the news. There'll be people who learn from watching, because they're more into visuals. There'll be people who learn from music and rhythm, so they'll be more into, I don't know, say poetry, spoken word, or music, or African drumming or something. And I thought, why not use this creativity to actually teach people? And that was the way forward for me, and that's how Carpe Diem events came about. I wanted to use it as a creative platform to raise awareness on conflict minerals from Congo. So before I actually go into the events, I just want to speak about the actual minerals, and feel free, if you don't know the answer, it's fine. Each and every single second that we're given is an opportunity to learn. So who here knows about the minerals that go into our technology and what they do anyway? Put your hands up, it's cool if you do know, that's fine. Okay, so who knows about gold? What does gold do? Okay, so for the people who put your hands up and said, you know, this is really disgraceful right now. Gold is the highest priced mineral when it comes to conflict minerals. It's what has kept the technology industry at large running, not just that, but also the arms industry. So gold is used on our solder boards and also on wiring. So here's the battery from my phone. Now you actually don't get many phones where you can actually take the back out anymore and actually look inside it. But with my phone, I don't know if you can see. Can you see these little bits there where you put your charger in and it actually connects to your phone? Take it, have a look. Pass it around, please. So if you look at that gold part there, and then also the underneath of your phone, you can't actually see your solder board here in the actual circuit, but that's what gold goes into with our phones. Now the reason why gold is used, carry on passing it around, the reason why gold is used is because it has a slight level of heat resistance to it. So whenever you plug something in or switch a light on, there's a spark that actually takes place within the circuit board, the electrics. It's the gold that stops you from getting an electric shock or something. Yeah, it's like a conductor, that's it. And also fuses as well, it's used for fuses. So whenever a fuse blows out, that basically means that the heat within the gold has run out. There's no more heat that the gold is able to hold. So that's gold. So basically gold is used for wiring and solder boards. Then there's tin. Who knows about tin? Solder. Pardon? Solder. Huh? Soldering. Okay, yeah, so tin is used for soldering as well, so that's part of circuit boards. Now, the soldering is actually the part, the term used for melting down everything and helping to connect everything that's actually on your circuit board. So soldering itself is the act of melting everything down. Now, everything has circuits in it. So my phone has circuits in it. Your camera has circuits in it. That laptop has circuits in it. The mixing board over there has circuits in it. Everything has a circuit in it. Tin is also in absolutely everything, especially household products as well. So name me some household products.
Fridges, freezers,
Microwave, fridges, microwave, TV, light bulbs as well. Anything else? Kettle, yeah. Fridge, washing machine, yeah. So all these common household products that almost everyone has, tin is what is in those as well. So can you see, like, we use so much of tin in our everyday products as well, yet we don't even know. So that's tin. Who can tell me about tantalum? Now tantalum is also called coltan, so who can tell me about
computers, mobiles, computers.
Okay, well I should have thought about this and how people actually answer. So the gentleman at the back who put his hand up first, can you tell me about tin? Nice and loud and clear, please. Yes, you?
There's one of the primary elements in semiconductors used to develop chips.
So louder, please.
It's one of the primary elements in semiconductors used to develop microchips and transistors.
Yeah, so it's used for microchips and transistors within our technology. What coltan also does is that coltan also holds a crazy high amount of energy, and it's ridiculously heat resistant. Now, coltan is responsible for keeping batteries lasting longer. Now, that's batteries such as small things like Duracell, AAA or whatever, all the way to batteries that are also used in, well, more commonly known as...
NASA.
Yeah, so like things like NASA, so rockets, why can't I ever get this right? The auto aircraft industry or whatever it's called. More commonly, our laptops, iPads, technology and everything. So you know when you're heating up your laptop or something and you feel the battery and it's hot? That's doing absolutely nothing to the tantalum because it is that heat resistant. It's not doing anything at all. In fact, the longer you keep something plugged in for, the more the tantalum is actually being used. So it has no type of burnout whatsoever. So after coltan, you have cobalt. Now cobalt, I wouldn't say it isn't as popular, I wouldn't say it's not as popular as coltan. It's just that it's come to the forefront a lot more. So there's been a massive call for energy sustainability and the environment. And within, I'd say, England alone, the transport system that we use have really taken this on. Now, the way that this has affected Congo is that large areas that actually have cobalt have really suffered because cobalt is what goes into cars that use batteries rather than petrol instead. And it's actually children between the ages of 6 and 12 mainly who actually forced to go into the mines each and every single day. Sometimes they spend 24 hours a day in those mining for cobalt. So whenever you see transport that says, oh, greener energy or get on this bus or anything, actually it's children who should be running about, who should be getting an education, who should be living freely, who are actually digging the minerals for that to actually happen. So that's cobalt. And then there's tungsten. Who can tell me about tungsten or take a guess? Well, when you go home, look at your lights. Yeah. But even also in here now, everyone here, I'm assuming everyone here has a phone.
Yeah.
Who here like taking pictures on their phones?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever your phone, you've got the flash on your phone, that's also tungsten. On cameras, that's also tungsten that makes it flash. On your laptops, if you press something and it doesn't quite meet the command and it flashes, that's also tungsten. On your public transport, whenever the lights come on or wherever you see the signs, that's lit up by tungsten. So can you see how there's so much of Congo in our lives each and every single day that we do not know about? What I do at my events is take all of this information and actually tell people about the minerals. So that's one step of empowerment. knowledge is power, and we really do have to know about our technology and what actually makes it work before we can take the next step into actually doing something. So what I also do is look at different policies and how we can influence policies. The best way to always influence policies is money. Just don't spend your money. Don't spend your money on technology or anything like that. Just do not upgrade, do not consistently carry on buying. Within the EU alone, we spend goodness knows how much more money than any other country in the world just on laptops and tablets. There's so much more technology out there other than laptops and tablets, yet the EU alone spends way more money on tablets and laptops than anywhere else in the world. Now, given everything that I've just said and also some of the statistics that Vavatampa gave us, in terms of our financial power as consumers, we really do have the power to actually be like, hey, we need to demand to know exactly where our minerals come from, and until we get those answers, until we actually see the truth, regarding where the answers are coming from and everything, let's not buy. And that is how much power we actually have. In 2012, Sony were I'd say, just below Apple in terms of their phones. What they wanted to do was find out exactly how they can compete with Apple. What they did was do mass consumer research, and they found that the Sony users wanted their battery life to last longer, and they also wanted bigger screens. Once they actually got all of that information, they then went to Congo and got coltan for longer lasting battery life, and then got tungsten so that they can get bigger screens with a bigger flash, better camera quality. Parts of Congo where Samsung actually got sourced their minerals from experienced way more rape, way more destruction and destitution as well. So you can see how we are having a direct effect on Congo. But again, the technology companies that we buy from do not tell us this at all in the slightest bit. Now, from what I've just told you, you can actually go and ask each and every single company that you buy from about this information. You have each and every single right as consumers to demand exactly where your minerals come from. You have each and every single right as human beings to know about the lives and the stories about the people that make your products possible. And that's what we actually need to start doing. Our connection to the Congo isn't anything new. Again, as Vavatampa told you, during the Belgian colonisation, we were connected to Congo through rubber. The automobile industry was made possible because of the rubber. Then there was Hiroshima. Goodness knows how much of uranium came from there. And then we've got us in our present time now. We're connected to Congo through our technology. In terms of our future, we are the ones who can really take power as consumers to decide exactly what the future of Congo looks like. And that's by deciding which way we want our technology to go. And we really do have to start asking questions. Different types of questions, not how much battery life does my phone hold, or not how much storage can my iPad hold. It should be, what is the life like of people in Eastern Congo? How are women treated in this particular area? What are the roads like? What are the basic what's the infrastructure like of this place, or are policies actually being followed, and what can we do to actually make sure that policies regarding supply chain and transparency are actually followed? That's what we need to be doing. So what I will be doing from now with all of my events is continuing to break the silence and continuing to empower. My events, social enterprise, was actually called Carpe Diem, but I've actually been advised by a number of people within the Congolese community to change it to a Swahili name, and it will now, when I have a launch party, I don't know when, to be honest, sometime later this year, it's actually going to be under the name Mimi Nini Sisi, I, you,
We need a laptop, we need a phone. Where can we go?
Yeah, okay, so I'll just say for anyone who needs a new phone, rather than upgrade, go to Fairphone. So the phone that I showed you, the one that's got my battery, It's a Fairphone and it's available here in the UK right here today via the Co-op. You can order it online and it will be with you within 3 days. So Fairphone are a company that are based in Sweden. The phone is Android based. You can choose whatever type of tariff you want. You can buy it outright. It's completely up to you. In the pack, you'll actually be sent information about where the actual minerals came from. And their supply chain is just so legit and so tight that they can tell you exactly what person was working on the mine and on what day. And in that way, you have a much better connection to the person who actually made your phone. Not only that, on the Fairphone website, they are 100% transparent. So they tell you about all the different policies that they have to follow and the information with the supply chain in terms of just so you know exactly how your phone was made and where. So if you're in need of a new phone, then do please check out Fairphone. The phone that I've got is a Fairphone 1. It still works perfectly fine. However, they do have the most bombastic, fantastic Fairphone 2, which is out now as well, and it's got a bigger screen, so that means even bigger selfies. If you want to get a new laptop, a new camera, or a new just anything online magazine, and there you can look at different company rankings, and it shows you what companies are the best to buy from, which ones invest the most in conflict minerals, who actually do follow the supply chain, and it actually gives you a list and an order. So from the top of my head, I can say that after Fairphone, other brands in terms of the leaderboard, it goes Intel, who make the processors that go into most of our technology. So it's Intel, HP, Apple, and I think it's then Microsoft, and then so on and so on. So that website that I gave you was Ethical Consumer. Not only do they give you a good rundown of what companies are best to go to in terms of conflict minerals, but also in terms of the treatment of the people that actually work on the mines and actually work in the factories. All of our products are made in factories, not only in oriental parts of Asia, but also Pakistan and Bangladesh. And we never really hear much about the life of the people in the factories, how much they earn or anything, what the living conditions are like, what the work conditions are like. You will find that out on Ethical Consumer, so at least you have a better connection with the people who make your products. So that's Fairphone if you need a new phone, and Ethical Consumer to do a comparison for your products.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? Oh, another lady. Ooh.
Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand again.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lekia Lay, and I'm the founder of Project Embrace, which is all about celebrating African beauty. And I know you'll all be buying things here later. My question, I hope I can articulate it properly, because I have learned a little bit about the minerals in the Congo before, and some of the things I've heard today are really mind-blowing. And my question is, what is the way forward in that? If we own these minerals, can't we dictate how it's being, I don't know, sold, used? If it's ours, why can't we be in control of it? I remember having this discussion with my brother, and he said something about there's some kind of treaty that says if it's a natural resources, you can't put a price, a market price on it. I'm not too sure, but I guess you might know better. So isn't it something that we can take control of and put a market price on it, for example, so that people working in those industries, you know, the mines and all that, can actually earn a good living? It's for everybody, sorry, everyone in the panel, anyone can answer, or in the audience.
Should I do that? Okay, I think I can only be answering sort of like my experience, but one of the reasons why we can't demand is that there are within, if you think of all the people who are consumers within technology, there are only a select few, a very, very, very select few who will actually care and who will actually go on to change the way that they think and the way that they behave when it comes to consumerism, and then actually acting our demands for technology and knowing where the minerals come from. And that's the thing, it's our behaviour. Everyone wants everything now, so fast. And when it comes to consumers, we don't actually want to change the way we behave. We just want our products, and that we get it from the shop, and that's it, really. So the way to do it is what I said before, is to stop spending your money with these people who are only killing the Congo. What you can do is find out about different policies that do affect minerals and supply chain and traceability and accountability, and spread the word to as many people as you can, make the information as accessible to people as you can, and then make the actions as easy for people to follow, because as I said, consumers don't want to have to change their behaviour, so it's about putting the information out there as much as possible and making it easy and accessible.
Okay, so I'm going to say two things. One is, in terms of treaties, you mentioned treaties. There is some existing almost international colonial type of agreement. So I give you an example. We have, we talked about natural resources, but we didn't go into details. Congo has more diamond, more gold, more cotton, more timber, more copper, more zinc, more any other natural resources than any other country in Africa. In fact, there was a study which was done by the State Department that happened to glance through it, and it says, and this has not been published yet, that Congo might have more oil than Saudi Arabia. Well, let's put it on the side. So we have all those natural resources, but Congo cannot by itself trade its diamonds. Our diamond has to be sold in Belgium. And that is a fact, and it's fascinating. It's just part of our history, so we cannot trade our diamonds. Our diamond has to be traded in Antwerp, in Belgium. We talked about uranium. Our uranium, since 1915, supervision, I don't want to say, the less of the supervision, has been rotated between the French, the British, and the Americans. So they oversee our uraniums. We just have it, but they oversee it. So that's currently the supervision of our uranium is with the French. They currently have the chairmanship of supervising our uraniums. So that's in terms of natural resources. But my stance on these things as an activist goes deeper, and I tend not to spend a lot of time on sort of asking people to change their ways of lives and so forth, for the simplest reasons. One of the things we've seen in Congo, we've observed over the past 10 years is this. Actually now, people are using less conflict minerals in Congo than they were before. HTC is one of the massive guilty company. In 2009, HTC exported, and these are fact, exported 31 tons of conflict minerals from Congo. That is 31,000 kilograms of conflict minerals. And you need to bear in mind, there isn't an industry in a war zone. Okay? So these 31,000 kilograms were mined by hand, by human beings. Just to give you an idea, that's HTC, and it's difficult to sway the Chinese to change their ways of life, to change their policies beyond the Chinese. It's incredibly difficult. So my stance on it, or the way I approach this situation, is the political side. Okay? Until we change the politics on the ground in Congo, nothing's going to change. And I say that for the simplest reasons. So initially, warlords used to rely a lot on natural resources, selling them. We have examples and evidence of even British companies, Australians, Canadians, paying taxes to warlords in order to exploit natural resources. Because some actions, however minimal those actions have been taken in the US and in other parts of the world, some of those warlords have almost stopped. And what we have seen over the past couple of months, or couple of years, is this. They are now trading in coffee, and they're not trading in charcoal, and they are now taxing people. Okay? How are we, essentially the way, I've had a lot of fight on this argument, because I almost feel one of the reasons, and I hope Emma would forgive me for this issue, one of the reasons we people tend to bang a lot on your phones and your laptops and so forth, because you just want to feel good by yourself. You want to be have a clean conscience that, you know what, my phone, my money is not contributing to the killings in Congo. Guess what? You can feel good because your phone is not, okay? But the killings in Congo hasn't stopped. It's not going to stop if you stop buying those phones and those laptops. So the fight is the political fight to change the politics, because your phone can become clean, but the Congolese will continue to be killed and to be displaced and to be raped. Okay? So, yeah, the fight is the politics, and one of the fights currently, one of the key leading fights we have is to ensure that Kabila, the guy who's in power, actually leaves power by the end of the year. And as one of the pastors I know says, by fire, by...
Thank you so much, Robert. Let's listen to JJ Bola for his comment.
I just wanted to make a small point, maybe just to expand the conversation. See, we're all here, have different levels of engagement within society, and we participate differently. We all have different viewpoints and so on. And in regards to specifically Congo, right? There are levels. There are levels to the issue of exploitation of minerals, of conflicts, whether it's political, whether it's social, and so on and so on. There are levels of engagement. So at the very top, you have governmental exploitation. Of course, the current President Kabila, he's exploiting as much as he can, and has allowed the country to essentially be run down and exploited. We, as people in the diaspora, or even as ordinary Congolese citizens, right, don't have that power to be able to directly determine what his actions are, right? So obviously, okay, so if we're thinking we want change, and we do want change, we've got to look at what we can strategically do in terms of what we're empowered with being able to do, right? So I do believe in almost intertwining of action. So it's not just do one thing or another. If it's empowering to you to not upgrade your mobile phone, please do that. If it's empowering you to write poetry, I write poetry. Please do that. If it's empowering you to educate or to create art or whatever it is, please engage in those activities, because one of the things, the biggest influences of change has been what? Information. For people to do, they must first know. We cannot do anything if we're not first aware, right? So in fact, spreading information is one of the most powerful things that we can do. Now, moving onwards from that, so we're looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, we're the diaspora, right? We're not directly in Congo, right? We don't have actual physical influence in regards to what's happening. And so if you look at it, it's an issue of what? It's an issue of land. Malcolm X said land is power. Now there are major land grabs happening, not just in Congo, but across Africa. It's been happening for ages. Anyone who's been able to visit the continent recently, not just in Congo, but across the continent, you will see the influx of Chinese corporations and businessmen operating as a form of neocolonialism, essentially exploiting the land. So what can we do? We here in the West we have a certain economic privilege in regards to what we're able to earn with the pound, right? So if you go back, the £1 that you have, right, £1 is equivalent to, I think, about 500 francs, maybe 800 francs, right? It depends on who you are, but even the fact that we are located here, we have a certain level of economic privilege, right? Now what can we do with that economic privilege? And what can we do with the information that we have access to here? So one of the things that I always try and encourage us as diaspora people, right, and using the economic privilege that we have, is to buy land. Buy land, right? Land isn't expensive actually. You can buy land the same cost, right, as a second-hand car. Right, for $1,000 you could probably get about 10 acres of land. But once you have that land, it's in your ownership, it's in your name. If any corporations try and come in, right, you have the information and the legal information and the ability to be able to challenge that. What happens with our brothers and sisters back home is they're disempowered, and a lot of them don't have that information or access to information for them to be able to empower that. We have a rate of 70% of our population is unemployed, 60% are illiterate. So we have to look at what we can do in regards to strategically on all levels effectuating change. So whether it, like I said earlier, whether it's, you know what, I bought land, okay, you know, I bought 10 acres of land for $1,000, got a certificate, it's in my name, right? But, okay, you might not necessarily be, you know, activating or using it directly yet. However, that land is in your name, whatever resources is in the ground, it belongs to you. So any corporations try and come in, you have the legal right to actually take them to court. When you think about that now, okay, you've got that now, in 10 years time, in 20 years time, what's that gonna look like? And you look at it, I'll stop there. But that's just what I want to, I'll just strategically on every level, from the top down and the bottom up, do not feel disempowered that the actions that you're doing has no consequence, right? Everything, every little part that someone plays, like us all coming together in the room today, will have a major effect in regards to liberating not just Congo, but Africa.
Thank you so much.